Hello, viewers. Today, what we want to talk about is increasing and rising cases of tech facilitated gender based violence in Pakistan. This may appear to be a very new term. That what is it? What is now tech facilitated gender based violence? Tech facilitated gender based violence is when women and minorities, and especially trans persons and children, adolescent girls, are targeted on socials in digital realm, and they are pinned for a violence. What kind of violence could that be? That violence could be that you get random messages, your photos are shopped, you are doxxed, your photos, your pictures are placed on a nude photography, your account is put on a porn site, or people like to approach you, go after you, and when you don't like them or you don't respond to them, you end up being trolled, abused, death threats, or end up being killed, like the young Sana Yusuf, young child, I would say, because she was barely 17 years old. As we saw that few days ago, she was killed for the purpose of her. I mean, just merely because she was rejected by a suitor who wanted to be friends. That's what allegedly we know as of now, as the case is still under progress. Tech facilitated gender based violence. Another thing that social influencers or women who are very visible on digital apps is seen is fake videos or leaked videos. Let's talk about fake videos, because fake videos are not only where you dox them. By doxing, what I mean is that you know you impersonate someone else, put my picture on somebody's chat, or create a fake chat, or use AI generated things. It is more like where those who are very popular, they're getting monetized, and somebody doesn't like it. So what they do is they create their fake chats or fake videos, and release them. In recently, we have seen Sajal Malik and Kamal Aftab, whose fake videos were all over. What could they do? Did they approach FIA or any cybercrime agency? No. All they were doing was that this is not me, or keeping quiet. It's a mental trauma to them and their families as well. And going to the police and any law enforcement agency itself is taken as victim blaming. So that is one thing that affected them. The other is where your somebody that you know, your friend, your boyfriend, your partner, your husband, or member of the family, or your coworker, or your colleague, or somebody you know and you are working together, they leak your video chats, or your call chats, or your audio chats, or your type chats, or your WhatsApp messages, and then try to blackmail you. In that case, Samia Hijab and Elise Seher's case. Again, they are two cases where those who knew them and their chats were released. What do they do? Where do they end up? They end up in socially demeaning, dehumanizing, and victim blaming women. And to build on that thought process the society has, the women who are trying to be equal, who are trying to do what usually men do, are bad women. So they were working, they were bad women. It could be a colleague. They were on social media, they were trying to influence by singing or dancing or just doing random vlogging. So that's not a good girl, bad girl thing. So they kind of stereotype you, paste you there, and that's about it. And then, of course, the case of Sana Yusuf. There's another thing that we should not be missing. Not only that these digital tools and hacks are used to victim blame women, bring them down, but also that it's a matter of consent as well. It not only violates your privacy, most of the time this happens because some random man approached you, or your partner, or your coworker that you were very friendly with, and now you didn't want to be friendly anymore, and they said, oh no, they cannot understand that no means no. It's a violation of consent. And unfortunately, society, from very lower rank to the higher judiciary, still does not understand when we say no means no. And the ideal that we have seen in that case is the recent Noor Mukaddam case, when Supreme Court reduced the punishment for Zahir Jafar for kidnapping and rape to bear from 10 year from hanging to life imprisonment and from 10 year to 1 year, only because they thought that Noor Mukaddam was, since she was friends with Zahir Jafar, so she was not kidnapped despite video evidence. Since she went there by her own choice, so it's okay for her to be raped. No means no. That's very important. Unfortunately, what measures do we have? Very little. Because one, society needs to be educated, aware that why these things are wrong, why these are crimes, and there are no honor in the crime. The fault lies in our education system that does not bring in these type of things in when we are in schools. You know, you built your mind that when you stereotype women, what is a good girl, bad girl, what a woman can do and what cannot do, what's wrong and right in your formidable years, which is like up to your class 5. So do our curriculums include that? That what is the right, what is rights, human rights, rights, gender equality and all that? State needs to think about that. Then our law enforcement, then our that because that makes the societal conscious, and the overall societal conscious as we see now, and I've been repeating it talking about, is based on being gender unequal, condoning gender based violence, and victim blaming. Lastly, is the law enforcement agencies that set a standard. Is the speedy justice that sets a standard. And I told you just now that for Islamabad, there is zero cybercrime case where conviction has happened in last 1 year for any women. FIA had a cybercrime unit which, as per their own information, only had 200 investigators to cover all over Pakistan. Imagine we are 240 million, half of them are women, and most of them are facing tech facilitated GBV. So 200 people, is that it? Would it suffice? Now the cybercrime wing also stand disbanded, and we have a new national cybercrime investigative agency. We don't even know what its mandate. Had the rules been done? How many investigators do they have at their end? But we have seen two cases. One in Faisalabad and the Sana Yusuf case, that where by through geofencing the police could get to the culprit like within 24 hours. But these are individual incidents of excellence where the person who was in charge of the project or investigation went out of the way. Where we need to have stronger cyber. We have laws, but they should not be used for political victimization. They should be used for social justice. We need to have trained cybercrime agencies uh, like PTA. They should employ the algorithm models where they can see the content with what is the gender-based violence related content on different socials, and they can block it. If they can block my YouTube or my Twitter account for not voicing my political opinion, they can do that for gender-based violence as well. Very easy, can be done by the PTA, but not, I think it's not even in cards and being considered that if certain type of things are done, are happening, what do? Platforms demonetize, warn, stop, cut your uh, out, blocked, no more allowed to become back. And then our national and provincial cybercrime agencies. It's a long road, it's a tall order. But why are we doing that? Why society is doing that? Why are we facing rises in that? Let's go to the basics. The basic is that gender-based violence, there is gender inequality in Pakistan. Gender-based violence is condoned by the society. Generally, if a woman is harassed on the street, if a woman is killed, if a woman is given in a barter, in a conflict, or given in marriage, to a young child given in marriage to a very elderly person like 30 or 40 years old as against a 13-year child, is kind of accepted, is taken as a family matter. Or there is an abuse or fight within the family or within the husband and wife, that's also taken as a family matter. Let me give you an example out of Islamabad, where reported case of gender-based violence last year have been 167 in the category of violence against women, 472 for kidnapping, 31 child marriages, and out of that, how many were reported as a cybercrime? 621 cases were reported as cybercrimes. And do you know how many were convicted for women? Zero. So this is why I gave you an example of out of a national data set, which is coming out of Islamabad Capital Parity Gender Parity Report, is just to make you understand that Islamabad is a very small capital. It's very protected, and if this is the case here, what are we? What would be the case all over Pakistan? What are women facing right now? The social influencers or women who are there, but they're character assassinated all the time. There's also one thing. What do we do when they go to police? Can police help? As I said, police is into victim blaming, unfortunately. But then, if you look at those when it's put out on socials, what do people ask for? They ask for, oh, that nude video released. Can I have the link? And lo and behold, it has been some people have researched into it, and they say, okay, click here to get the link, and that you have to pay to get that leaked video. I don't know if that's the video you get is right or wrong, but there's a mechanism to get monetized there as well. You read the comments, and they're all victim blaming. Somebody would slut shame you, body shame you, and they would say, oh, who would accept you? I have rejected her in one, and you're not even that one I would consider. So it's glorification that a man can reject, and when women say no, her consent does not mean anything. That's victim blaming. And then where do women end up? We have seen many cases where even Mariam Nawaz Sharif, a statue of Mariam Nawaz Sharif, or female political leaders or women journalists, they are also the fake video. They are also victim of fake videos and digital violence. What does it end up for social media influencer as well? We have seen that in the end they said, okay, the person apologized and we accepted. Why does that happen? For me, that happened because the law enforcement agencies uh, try instead of trying, they want them to patch up. It's a stupid issue, sort it out themselves. If it happens with me, I don't know how long would it take for me to go through the justice quagmire, and in that I will be continuously character assassinated and victim blamed and shamed. So I would rather accept it, gulp it, and go forward. And our society, it kind of not only mentally stress us out, as a woman it stress you out, it's a mental trauma for the whole family. And then the concept of honor of women on the shoulder, honor of the family on the shoulder of women comes in. I wish we share that honor burden to the men who are doing this to women, to know that they are dishonoring their families and themselves than women who become the victim of such gender-based violence crimes and tech facilitated gender-based violence.